What's going on, collective? Welcome to By the Season 4 Tarot, aka Ruth is the Truth. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to be a no-face reading of Reading on the Go. So you're only going to hear my voice. Maybe it's going to sound a little like, maybe loud. I don't know how it sounds to you guys because I don't edit my videos. I don't do none of that. It's organic. It's raw. However I record it is how you're going to get it. Everything you need to know about me is listed in the description box below. That is so dangerous. Somebody here is riding on a thin line. Riding on a thin line, okay? I'm going to tell you this. Riding on a thin line. Riding on a thin line. I don't know if this is with work. I don't know if this is with a person. I don't know if this is in a relationship. I don't know. But for some of you, someone here is riding on a thin line with you, you know, or somebody is like about to cross the line. Any little mistake, any little thing that they do, any little mishap, it's like they're done. They're done. They're a done deal. And this could be with Holy Spirit too. This could be with the divine. So, most of you guys know that I am pregnant. And my doctor recommended, because I don't do well with prenatal vitamins. And at this stage I'm just coming out of my first trimester. So in this stage of pregnancy, you know, I'm starting to do a little bit better with my smells, but guys, totally disgusting, right? It's the biggest, I've never experienced anything like this with all my other pregnancies. So it's like the smell that really gets to me, okay? And then everything just, to me, smells like bland in my mouth. Like, I don't know. It's like, unless I really like crave it or want it, that's the only time something is tasting good to me. But so my doctor recommended for me to put my prenatal vitamin in my smoothie, like blend it in my smoothies, which is not bad because it does cover up the smell of it, but it's a little gummy. It's a little gummy. Anyway, we're trying different things. But anyway, back to the reading, y'all. Had to share that with you guys. I was just drinking my smoothie. So some of you are drawing closer to God. Some of you are drawing closer to the divine. Some of you are really creating a relationship with the divine, okay? And you're maybe for some of you, you're just like, you know what, maybe you're starting to draw or maybe be pushed more away. Maybe there's somebody in your life that has pushed you away to the point where you're just like, you know what, maybe you don't even have anybody else to lean on or to rely on. Maybe your friends and family, you look at their life and you see how they act in day to day, and you're just like, you know what, they're not of service to me. They cannot be of service to me in my life right now. There's nothing that you can benefit from these individuals or people in your surroundings. And some of you are just, you know, some of you are being called more to draw closer to the divine during this time, and really dive into your faith, really dive into your spirituality during this time. Maybe some of you are having dreams. There could be somebody here who is in the entertainment business here. You know, I had this vision of I don't know why I had this vision of like Mario and what's his name, Jamie Foxx, for whatever reason. It's just, it was the oddest thing. But so there could be someone who is involved with multiple people in the entertainment business, okay? Because in my vision, it was a person who was involved with these two individuals, and it's like, maybe it was somebody who really like had a close relationship with one person, and then the other person they had history with, they were always drawn back to that person. So Some of you that could resonate, you know, and some of you that is what the line is about. That is what the somebody's about to cross the line when it comes to, you know, something that they shouldn't, you know, maybe it's like guy code or like girl code, or maybe it's just something that you just don't do. Maybe you just don't date your man or your woman's like a coworker or best friend, or, you know, it's something like that. It's like somebody who is in close proximity to someone that an individual has history with or has dated, or, you know, it's something like that. But both of these individuals have feelings for this one person, okay? So that could be for some of you, you know, and maybe for some of you, it's the feminine that has crossed the line. Maybe it's two feminines and it's a masculine, however it resonates, you know. But in my vision, it was two masculine energies that both had some sort of status, or they both like knew each other. They grew up in the same environment or in the same surroundings or around the same people, or, you know, because of how well known they are, you know, they collaborated in some kind of way. It's something like this, collective. I had to share that. But yeah, I feel like there's this energy of somebody here being drawn closer to the divine because they can't count on anybody in their environment. I'm hearing it's going to be beneficial for you to do this, okay? It's going to be beneficial. There's something that you're going to gain from this, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. And I just want to tell you, collective, because a lot of the times, a lot of those who really have a gift, or who are really gifted, or who are really spiritually in tune, spiritually connected to the divine, and you know who you are. You don't go around telling everybody this. You're not out here like, you know who you are. There's a sense of like belonging that some of you may struggle with. There's a sense of belonging because for some of you, you could have grew up in broken homes. You could have always been the black sheep of the family. No, you could have been always misunderstood. Nobody understands you. You know, you could be somebody who's just wild and free, or that's how you lived your life, you know, or maybe you're just not wild, but you're free, you know. You live your life more freely. You're more adventurous. You're tapped into nature and, you know, your environment and, you know, what's going on in the world today. And, you know, maybe people at work don't really understand you, or you don't really get along. Not that you don't get along with people at work, but it's like you can't make friends. It's very hard for you to make friends. You know, because it's like you can see right through the way that people live their life. You can see right through the falsehood, the fakeness, the facades, you know, the groups, the cliques and all that, you know. And it's just like you don't associate with yourself in any kind of way or form, with any title, with any group, with anything. You're just somebody who just walks alone. You stand alone. And a lot of you may struggle with a sense of belonging. Like, you know, like, man, I really would love to have a loving family. I really would love to have a relationship with my mother and my father, or just one in general. I really would love to have a friendship group, or, you know, girls or guys that I can really, like, you know, just go to lunch with, or, you know, go play basketball with, or whatever the case may be, you know. But I'm here to tell you that, you know, because you are, and I don't want, and because this word is so used lightly, it's only for those who really are individuals who are spiritually gifted. And the word chosen is used so lightly nowadays, because not everybody is chosen. Okay, there's only literally 144,000 that are elected, right? But some of you really do have, or you really are descendants from Abraham, from David, okay? And you know who you are. You know who you are. Isn't that something that you know who you are, you know the kind of life you lived, you know if you are somebody who tends to be more of a loner, or is somebody who I described just now. You know who you are. You know that you are divinely chosen. And you do belong. You do belong. But it's not to the, you're not going to belong to the falseness and the sin of this world. If that makes sense for you guys. You are not going to belong to individuals, families, groups of people who are not living their life righteously. And this is why it's taking so long, or it has taken so long, for you to connect with other people, for people to be a part of your life. And for some of you, you may even struggle with that energy of trusting individuals who do come into your life. Like, what is your agenda? Right? You're always questioning people's intentions. And rightfully so, because obviously if you're questioning someone's intentions, it's because there's something there that is not sitting right with your spirit. But you are, you belong to God, to the divine. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. Wrong timing, because I have my purse on my passenger seat. But obviously that ding, ding, ding was a ding, 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 because it's a sense of truth. It's a sense of reality that most of us live in. You may honestly just live your life, maybe with your partner, with your children. Mother F. I already took it off. Right? I should have just clicked the seatbelt on the passenger side. Anyway, guys. But maybe there's a warning coming up here for some of you as well. Maybe there's something that you need to pay attention to. Okay, maybe you really need to pay attention to this message. Whatever you take from it, whatever you gather from it, if it doesn't resonate now, it may resonate later. Because people's lives are still playing out. People's, there's cycles that are still playing out. And this is a universal year number 9. Cycles are closing out in this year, karmically. That is a karmic number. It is a number of endings and renewals that are coming up. And next year we start back. All over again. Because there is really no year number 10. At least I don't think. I think we start back at 0. But yeah, I just want to let you know that this year may seem like you have struggled to be alone. Relationships, connections, have been falling apart. You're starting to see more of the reality of people in your environments. Even with the entertainment business, even with, people who follow that lifestyle, even with your family, your friends, your co-workers, some of you have been questioning a lot your careers as well. Like, you're starting to feel like, man, this is not it for me. I know there's more for me. I know that I should be doing more. Like it's almost like maybe as of lately you've been feeling like I have so much fire within me than just to be sitting here like all day long. Like, it's kind of, I feel like somebody's been thinking that, or has been going through that, or maybe as a collective, it's been happening where your sense of wanting to be more, wanting to do more, wanting to be out there, wanting to be, doing your purpose, doing what you were called to do. Because some of you already walk your purpose, but you're not fully invested. You're not fully in it yet. There's still some restraints that need to be shed. And obviously in this year it will be. Because your calling is getting louder. It's getting louder. Like your sense of wanting to break free from those restrictions, from that small mentality, that boxed in energy. You look at people who sit here and work at jobs like 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it's just like, how the hell did you stay in one spot for so long? Like, didn't you have any ambition to want to do something else, or want to be more, or want to do more? And hey, it's not meant for everybody. Everybody has their own path, their own journeys. But what could you have done in that time? What could you have done differently? Some of you don't even want to wait to think like that. You're just like, you know what? I need to act now. I need to figure this out. And maybe some of you have been drawing closer to the divine because of that very well reason. It's like, God, open my mind. Holy Spirit, open my heart. Lead me. What am I supposed to be doing? Put people in my life. Whatever it is. Some of you are just like, you feel a sense of wanting to be more, wanting to do more, because right now there's something that you're doing that is just not, it's like you want to break free from. And this could be a relationship, this could be your career, this could be, whatever. Anyway, collective, this was your reading. I hope that this reading resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to share me with your family and your friends, and I will talk to you guys soon.